I'm Jazza.
I'm Jen.
I'm Murray.
I'm Elle.
And Jazza started the stream while I just took a sip of water.
Why
and
am I
I'm
so
Dave.
far away from you, Jen? I'm moving closer.
How you going? Welcome to episode of LUCEVERA. 31. Episode 31. If you have been involved in this roleplay thus far, you will have enjoyed all of the antics of our characters. I did. And you can continue to enjoy those antics live over on Twitch. We are now streaming on
We moved
Twitch.
houses.
We don't have a Twitch button. We need a Twitch button.
I have also
We have podcasts.
updated all of the
Links?
in all of our videos to
Patreon.
the Twitch
Well done.
thing.
And we have a game. They're all the buttons we have. We have check out Patreon. Check out podcast.
Yeah.
Check out Gateway.
Yeah.
Check
And
out Diego.
Check out Diego.
checking you out.
In this episode.
Thank you very much. What happened last episode?
Yeah, let's check out Diego, shall we?
Heck yeah, what happened last episode?
He's gone.
Fine.
Diego
This
be
man
like
somewhere in
that.
the country.
You're in your heart, and then you look for it. It's like, Diego, where's Diego?
DA gone.
'Twas like a dream.
Isn't it Go Diego or whatever the...
Let's not.
Go, Diego, go.
In the last episode, I forget what I write
Go
up
on,
until I go to
storyteller.
read it. We head north.
Seeing as you do it from Lorenzo's perspective, I'll be very interested by what you said sitting in the room.
By leaning on me for the recaps, you are making Lorenzo the default main protagonist.
I stared
For
at the
all of our
walls
listeners.
as the others were downstairs. I have no idea what they were doing.
Pretty loud though.
I shut myself and crushed my head. We reached a decent-sized rancher's town, country of Appley, town of Midsborough. We stayed at the Cattleman's Trough Inn, and we're staying in a nice room. Leone gets the attention of a drifter/grifter
Prime adult.
with a quest. He believes the foundations of the schoolhouse was once an ancient place of worship. Diego, Leone, and Bianca get to know each other in a round of questions and drinking games. Bianca gets drunk and lets down her hair and participates in a synchronized seductive dance that is surprisingly coordinated and festive. Party
Festive
time.
as heck.
Journal entry ended with party time.
But you missed all that. You didn't see it.
Lorenzo slept. So there you go. This is probably the...
This is also the part, Dave, where you say any similarities to other characters and IPs are not affiliated with
Are intentional
this.
and plagiarized. Sorry, is that... What? Sorry, I did it wrong.
It's fine.
Okay, so where did we leave off last session? What was the final point?
I think we all basically said, let's do it.
Yeah.
We took 4 days.
There was an extra day of rest. We had
To rest.
another long rest.
And to plan.
As we all worked together, Lorenzo felt a bit better and started to join in, but they took a little bit longer because he had 1 HP. And yeah, we started to scope
Agreed
things out.
to-
And I think we're all like, let's.
Yeah, you've
check
gathered,
out this. Yeah.
you've woken, you've gathered. I'm going to put you all at a table downstairs in the tavern. You've just had breakfast.
Good place to be.
And you're all ready to sort of set about whatever it is you want to do with the day. Now, I know you're committed to doing this quest.
Yeah.
And I said you've gathered the information. You've basically found and followed all the leads around town that have basically plotted out and confirmed all of the ruins. You've checked all this stone. You're quite sure that this is older than the city itself. And in even doing this, you've found, like, in the way that ancient Roman ruins in the modern world, you can see the foundations of the towns and where the streets were. You've kind of worked out several places that were clearly, old buildings and stuff, really old, older than maybe you even thought societies were in this place. And at the end of it, all that is left is the schoolhouse that you believe the entrance is located in. During your little time, you have successfully found a strange object. You sort of had to dig it up. This is with Diego. This is part of the stuff you've been doing. And the strange object is sort of like a stone dial inlaid with, it's like a green stone, almost like jade inside the stone. But it seems like on its own, it seems incomplete. And you know that the last answers are to be found in the schoolhouse, or it could be your last place to find leads, because the town's sort of manor is built over the foundations of what might have once been the keep or castle in the area, and like completely, built over it in a non-constructive way. But it looks to be, by your research, that the schoolhouse was in fact once a old church, very ancient church. And I'll leave you to your decision making. How you want to go about your search of this final building?
So, sorry.
If you want to do that.
We're outside of the school? Or
No, you're just sitting around the table eating breakfast.
Right.
All right. Had we come to any decision? Like, we generally look at these places after dark, or
That's what...
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of like we've got all the gathering and the boring stuff. This is the commencement of solving problems.
plan.
So you guys can role play.
Is school in session?
Yeah, that's been the problem so far. So the problem so far is the last 3 days, there's been kids there and it's been busy and you've had other things to investigate. But
is today the day?
no, there's still kids there.
Oh.
But today's the day it's
They
still...
don't have any days off of school?
The children, well, they only go there for a couple of hours, but there's always things happening. The point is, today's the day...
It's like a community.
Today's the day that you've done everything else.
Yeah.
So it's the last thing left to do.
Yeah.
So we should go after the kids have cleared out?
yes, and after
Give it an hour or so?
the teachers have left, they usually hang around, I believe.
Yes, well, if there's a few stragglers, I'm sure I can wave them away.
I could offer work if the building needs, any attention as just a traveling. Like, if we don't all need to be together. So I could offer to help out just on the side.
You want to split up?
No, just, approach it separately to sort of see.
You want to scout it out?
Yes, perhaps
And try and talk your way?
more as individuals to sort of see which is the best way in and who
We
can
could
find.
just be an inspection group if you are wanting to,
Well,
view the infrastructure.
you've done inspections more than I have. How
So
would
we
this
should go
be done?
together.
Okay.
I think it would be more suspicious if there's 3 separate groups trying to get in at the same time.
My plans have not always been graceful. I will
It's a
follow your
start
lead
to
on this
admitting
one.
it.
No, I think that's a decent plan if you two go with that sort of... Guys, even if there are staff still there, you could get them to show you around.
Why don't we all go? That's
what
I'm
are you gonna
saying.
do?
Why are we splitting up?
What?
We come in the name of the king under the instruction of a cavalier of the crown.
I'd rather not say directly from the king, because that would be a lie, wouldn't it?
You could
Let them make assumptions about my station, and that's fine.
All right. Well, you lead with the indication of the direction of assumptions.
And then you can all be looking at the
Behind you, like-
infrastructure of the building, because you know stone, and you know engineering, and you know
Oh, thanks.
smart stuff. So,
That's true.
Oh, smart stuff is really
It
good.
could very well be.
So
just-
glad you're really exercising that vocabulary there.
I'll ignore that, Dick. And Diego can be the expert on this area.
Is he here?
He can be if you invite him over.
Oh, speak of the devil. There he
Good
is.
morning, my friends.
Hello.
And this is the muscle that
Oh,
has
yeah.
been laid up in bed for several days.
My reputation precedes me. I was laid up in bed because my muscles didn't
They're so
help
sore.
me last time.
So sore.
Very sore.
I
But,
was
I'm
told that you are good at lifting rocks and breaking things with a hammer.
That is
including his
pretty
hand.
much the only thing I am good at. Yes.
Ah, good. I always like labor on our expeditions, makes things easier. So have you come up with a plan?
Well,
Kinda.
just approach them as if we're inspecting the place, which is not a lie, we are, and arrive well and truly after the children and the teachers have had time to leave.
Well, there's always someone living there, right? The schoolhouse, the teacher sleeps there.
How close are they to the site that we need to...
I don't know, I've never been in there. I don't do so well with children.
That's concerning.
What?
I don't like them.
Oh,
They're loud
right.
and they like to touch things, and I have valuable stuff. I don't want them to mess up.
Right. Well, what do you suggest then?
I don't know. This is why I hired a Cavalier of the Crown.
But you know the area.
Yes, I do know that an inspection might work, but it would be the first they've ever had, so they won't know what to expect or to expect it.
We know from experience that the Cavalier of the Crown certainly do like to inspect things. It's cumbersome. But,
It's part of our job.
well, yes, and especially if there is a school, I'm sure there are things that the Crown would prefer not be taught that you would be ensuring
And there
is
could
the
be
case.
dangerous things there, and you don't want them near children.
Of course. So we should inspect.
Exactly.
Make ourselves look as respectable as possible. Mm-hmm. Do we look respectable?
You're not bleeding out anymore.
We could probably bear to stitch a few holes in our clothes.
And a
but,
pass.
no, I agree. Some pretense of not wanting adorable children to fall into the catacombs or whatever could possibly be down there is probably a good idea.
And in order to assure that, we need to check the stone is not going to crumble and open up to some crypt.
By breaking the stone for extra.
Tapping to test strength. And
Yes.
if it breaks, it was a problem. We need to report, and someone will fix it after we further investigate.
Exactly.
This all sounds pretty
Almost
believable.
plausible.
Yes.
Is there like a town council or something? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do end up causing a bit of rubble, we report our findings.
Yes.
Okay.
I think maybe we spend a little moment cleaning up after breakfast and then nothing to it but to try.
And if there are people still staying there, as you said, Diego, then we can just try and tell them to steer clear of the area while we're investigating.
You never know what could happen. Oh no, an avalanche or something like
Experts at work,
that.
you know?
That's
You
it.
don't need prying eyes.
If you're good with lying, then you should be good at convincing them.
And how are you at lying?
Oh, terrible. I have no poker face. That's why I prefer to dance.
And drink.
Oh, and definitely drink.
Right.
He could be lying.
Yes, that's the thing.
Are you good at lying?
Nah, she's all authority, man.
Out of character. Who's good at lying?
Well, maybe you don't have to lie.
That's true. Authority
You
should.
just don't tell the truth.
You don't tell the full truth.
That's still
you
lying.
can. Well, no, she
It's,
can.
it's called deception, not lying.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's deception whether you're lying directly or
Yeah,
not.
that's true.
Hiding your
But if
intent
she
is
walks in and
deception.
says, "I'm here to inspect the school,"
It's a lie.
She is here to inspect.
No, if she walked in and said, I order you to leave on my authority as a Cavalier of the Crown, then that would not be a lie.
Okay,
that would
alright.
just be a sort of statement of authority. So it's sort of like whenever you're deceiving, lying is like whenever you're lying, deceit is
Okay,
deception.
fair enough.
All right.
You could charm. Hey, do you want to go out and play in the flowers or something?
It's a good one.
Do you want to go dance with Diego?
I'll do it.
Specifically that example as well.
I don't know what people do for fun.
Okay.
I just work.
Okay.
We eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom
Chow
nom.
it down.
Ooh, hold on 1 second.
You're gonna tell me what I'm having for breakfast.
For breakfast
There we go.
this morning, you are in a nice tavern in a big agriculture town in a prosperous country. So you enjoy
Spaghetti.
this morning a delicious honey-soaked toast with a side of thick-cut bacon.
Nice.
Whoa.
Refined. Very
Great.
good.
Yeah, you can an option of eggs if you'd like as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, that's all. I just wanted to get the important business down. I'm on a calorie deficit, so I just like to think about food.
It shows.
Your fantasy.
You guys,
eating a lot of food.
you all are having your like role play power fantasy or whatever. I'm having my role play food fantasy.
Give me
Smell it
food.
coming,
Fair
literally.
enough. Fair enough.
All right. I will head up to the room, and can I either coordination or deft of hand my clothing to sort of just neat and spruce up, see what I have to work with to.
You bringing a certain
Over deft of hand, I think.
So you were just rolling to get dressed.
Over the last 4 days, I suppose, would
Given that
I...
it's about presentation, can you pair it with charisma?
Okay. Can I have an advantage on deft of hand with art checks? It's the art of getting dressed.
That's a stretch.
Maybe if your specialty was like clothes design.
Yeah, if you were a tailor.
All right. I got 3.
3 successes is good. You do a very nice job of tidying yourself up. You look respectable, but still of your station, basically. Like, but very, very professional and neat and tidy. You look good.
Cool. Mario was going to say something.
Yeah, I was. It'll come to me.
I'm like, yeah. The floor is open.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So doesn't matter. Over the last 4 days, would I have seen any sort of people of official standing in this town? And what might they wear?
You've seen a couple of the finer folk in the town walk around. It's a medium-sized town. There's a few members of sort of a small. They'd be members of the noble class, but they're definitely not landed lords. They're sort of attendants and tax collectors and aristocrats. There's probably like the mayor might be a cousin of a minor noble.
Yeah. And do they have any like
they wear finery.
Seals or anything, or perhaps what do the labourers?
Stockings, puffy tops.
Rather the foremans.
Yeah, sort of like the floppy Renaissance hats with feathers or accoutrement, big puffy sleeves, very nice like gold embroidery and sort of silks and multi-layered fabric. Mm-hmm. They often walk around with like big rolling furls of parchment and quills and things.
Fancy.
There's probably, I'm not gonna say you've seen multiple. You've probably seen like one tax collector that looks a bit like that.
All right, I would like to spend some of my time to see if I can acquire something that sort of gives that air, whether it's sort of that roll of parchment and
make a
quill
knowledge
or
check.
whatever.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I used to have a reference character sheet, but it's gone.
Oh, I think I have one.
Oh, was it this?
Oh, thank you.
Can I
Not ours.
buy a sling in the days that everyone's...
Can you buy a sling? Absolutely. You're in
I just do that.
You're in a farming town.
Great.
And slings are very commonly used by shepherds to attack predators like foxes and things like that.
Sick.
And to get a sling, you can actually get the lowest tier of sling, you can get a little leather sling for 5 silver pieces.
What if I want an upgrade? Is there a tier list of slings? Like, what am I working
I'm
with?
just going to say, for the sake of
It's got racing stripes.
this town, they're just basic farmer
Okay, I
slings.
can upgrade another town. Maybe
Yeah,
not
there'll
this
be
one.
other ones you can get
Sick.
in other places. But this is just a medium-sized town.
5 silver, was it? Sorry.
5 silver, very, very
Oh,
cheap
is
for
it
a
10
weapon.
for me?
What?
Is it debt?
No, it's when you earn
It's
money,
when I
not
earn
when you
money.
spend money.
Yeah.
Mario rolled really well for once, guys.
5 silver and 5 successes.
So,
Right.
with a level of 5 successes on your knowledge check, you would be aware that nobles' clothes are very expensive. They're things typically purchased once and worn a lot. There's definitely a clothes store in town that would furnish people. It furnishes, again, it's a medium-sized city, so there's a clothes store that has, it's not entirely a fine clothes store, but they have a section of finery that's imported from the capitals, and you can absolutely find that. Whether or not you want to buy it or not is another
All
question.
right, so my thoughts are we are all more or less wearing the uniform
Workman's clothes, yes.
of the All Traders Assembly. And I'm somewhat going to bank on the fact that people probably wouldn't be able to recognize that thing. So I'm probably just going to look for hats and accessories to basically make us look the part of just sort of
Are we
some
going to
official thing.
alter the character art?
I think it's temporary,
You getting a
right?
floopy hat?
If you want to make new art for like this evening's thing, sure.
How much stuff? How many people and
was gonna
are
be
you
a
buying
thing.
just commoner tier stuff?
Or noble tier?
Oh, just something that could look passably like a fancy hat.
A fancy hat.
Oh.
A fancy hat.
I mean,
Trying to
hell,
copy
I'll make
me.
it if I have to.
A fancy hat is probably pretty expensive. So, unfortunately, the economy of the world is very divisive between rich and poor. So, a fancy hat's probably going to be like 50 silver
Per hat.
yeah, for one hat. Because these are things like you think about a race day hat, even in
that
Australia,
might-
like some hats are like $2,000, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's
It costs
crazy.
them, yeah.
So if you think about it as, back then, fine clothes and things were often a lot more expensive than they are now because they were built to last, and they had to be handmade, so they took a long time to make.
Cool. Oh, just to interrupt it. Thank you so much for the raid.
A
Lost
raid?
Archives.
Hey.
Lost Archives, thank you for raiding. Hello.
Hope you had
Welcome.
a good stream and welcome.
We're just discussing the semantics of the price of clothes in medieval fantasy
Very
society.
expensive hat.
Very expensive hat.
For generating disguises for never-do-wells.
Yes. However, with a successful check, you could probably buy some like workman's hats for the party, or some stuff for maybe 10 silver for the lot of you.
What does a workman's hat look like?
It's just like a tradesman's hat, Renaissance style hat, floppy hat. But you could then, if you pass a check, probably like zhuzh it up to passably for the night.
Decorate
through.
it. Let's
and that'll be
go.
like 10 silver for everyone for a little disguise.
Do it.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
You gonna craft it?
Yeah, I'll do that. At least a couple. Maybe don't need one for everyone, but yeah, I'll
I don't
absolutely go
need
for that.
one.
Yeah. Example.
Yes,
Excuse
please.
me?
All right.
Wow.
Hold on.
you.
Let's see. Bianca does not need a fancy hat.
Exactly.
Leone? Maybe. I mean, you got a nice,
think she
you got a
wants one.
purple little
Yeah, it's
scarf.
okay.
I'm
Scarf
getting
on.
vague hints that she might want
Yeah,
one.
like a hat.
Why did I just had this weird look at Lorenzo, and I was like, he probably doesn't want to wear a hat. Because I just have this weird vibe that Lorenzo's going to go bald really young.
Oh, really?
Why
I
would
don't
he
know
not
why, I
wanna
just
wear a
vibed it.
hat?
I reckon you get real sweaty from the like work that he does. So
Yeah.
then he wouldn't really wear a hat.
I like the hat idea.
also
Arvin will
down to
never
how
go
much he wants to
bald.
invest.
He'll be like 95 and he'll mostly
Yeah.
be long white hair hanging down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something about the soft curly hair. It'll just recede
creep
back.
further back.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
what a random thing to
Important.
discuss. Will our PCs bald?
Make your hats.
Good tangent.
Alvin.
Good tangent.
Does he have to roll to make hat?
Yeah, he has to make a roll.
What kind of roll?
Oh, okay. So you can. What would you like to do?
Say we'll get
Is this,
three hats.
You can absolutely use engineering if you'd like.
is this to craft a hat?
Probably paired with finesse. I think that'll be a pretty good role for
So
you.
you
So-
can get
That would
base
be-
work
Deft of hand?
hats and then make them fancy.
Oh, you want to use deft
No,
hand?
no, he said engineering.
Oh, okay.
Engineering
I
finesse.
missed that.
Can
Thank
I
you.
assist if he brings these hats back to?
Are you not? Were you not doing something?
I was
you would-
shushing in the room. Is he bringing them back, or is he?
We probably went
Rooms.
shopping
You
together.
can. Sure, one person. You can assist. You can get an extra
Yeah.
dice from the artist.
Lorenzo is
Absolutely. Why not?
artsy.
Why not? Let's.
Darn,
Well,
we'll
why
make
don't,
you beautiful.
actually, why don't we maybe spend like 70% of the session on this? Let's really describe it. Come on.
Yeah.
No, Murray.
You know what? I want to make a good job of this. I'm going to use my fast thinker and re-roll.
Wow, this is your once per day reroll.
This hat matters. We are getting our.
Hey.
We have the chapter title.
We're getting
is-
enthusiastic over this.
What's happening?
Catastrophe.
3 successes.
That was worth it.
So
A numerical increase
with
of 1.
Plan hatching.
With 3 successes, you successfully make the hat using some pins, some leather patches. You cut off things. You basically turn what would be workman's hats into kind of like the foreman level of hats. You just make them look a little bit more official. You tie them in color-wise with your uniform by adding, that little patch of leather. And overall, you successfully make hats that will give you an advantage in pretending to be.
Yay.
I mean, it's not just hats, right? You also
If
got
I-
some, like,
if I burn-
other little bits and bobs.
Whatever I get.
Could I burn a knack for his role to help
You-
improve?
that is not a thing that you can do.
You also
I was
already
willing-
helped by giving him an extra
What I'm getting from
True.
Lorenzo
But
is
he-
no one's as slick as Lorenzo. No one's as quick as Lorenzo. No one's neck is as incredibly thick
That's
as
Lorenzo.
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 Such a mouthful.
It's very hard.
You got another
I use
soundbite to add to the
Xanthus
board
in
now.
Oh, that's so
Lorenzo and Gaston would actually be a crazy crossover.
yeah.
Because Lorenzo's
Just
just
swapsies.
way too nice. Are you getting a bit of hat envy, Arvin?
Wait, do you want
I
one?
wiggle my hat. No, I'm saying are you?
Well, we want to look the part, yes?
Yes, jealous of my hat. Just saying, it's a good hat.
Whatever helps you sleep in.
I sort of think about it for a second and go, yes, that's it.
All right, are we ready?
I think so.
Ready as we'll ever
Did
be.
you make a hat for Diego?
That's one of the third ones.
Ah.
Well, is Lorenzo going to wear the hat?
Who's getting a hat?
I will wear a hat.
All right.
Wait, you only made 3 hats.
Yeah.
Okay, so one person can't wear a
10
hat.
silver?
Diego's standing there and he's like, so we're doing a hat thing, is that right?
Oh, does he have one? Does he have a hat?
Apparently.
That's what we could manage.
Did you bring one?
He opens he goes into he actually goes up to his room and he comes back down and
Hold my beer.
he plants, now the art's going to be inaccurate.
Yeah.
And he plants this lovely wide brimmed leather hat that's tilted down slightly, pulled in. It looks a little bit like a Renaissance Indiana Jones. I'm just throwing it out there. There's a little bit of that. It's just a little brown, but it's very well made and it's not worn.
This is an aside. I know the Kindred are a priority with the limited time we have Alicia for before
No.
she's if she just spent half a day
half a day putting hats on the characters.
Half a day.
You know what would be really funny with that?
Thumbnail was all of our characters lined up with hats.
What'd be really funny with that is that then the Kindred roleplay, because Alicia's going on holiday, will be 3 PCs with gorgeous art and then just a sketch for the fourth player.
No, last one's just a hat.
Surely you can put hats on that are like just free
cut out your
images
hat.
and just
Yes,
stick them on
just
so it
Google
looks
image.
really cheesy.
You'll see like the little lines of like
Yeah.
stock images.
I think they're way
Shots of-
funnier.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
see this is clearly one of the things that you are not fond of children handling.
A hat?
Yes.
Sure.
The
why not?
white leather fancy hat.
White leather.
White? I
It's
thought it was
brown. It's
brown.
brown.
You said
You said
white.
white. You
I
mean
said
wide leather?
Wide. I probably meant wide.
I didn't hear
I
white.
heard
Yeah.
white as well.
Yeah, it's okay.
I heard wide.
Wide,
Yeah.
white. There you go.
Okay.
Chat. Let's spend the next 40 minutes.
We're so white.
Okay.
Where did you get that from?
My room.
No, I mean, like it's just very well crafted. That's all.
It's my lucky hat. I bought it in.
Is it
Where was
Gucci?
it?
Is it Prada?
I think I was in Seldaris at the time.
Oh,
A
good
few years back,
craftsmanship.
after the war.
Right. Okay. Well,
Lead the way, Cavalier,
I suppose
to our inspection.
we shall. If assuming it's time where the kids will have left.
You've heard a bell ring and there are kids playing outside, so you guess they're at least having a break.
Okay.
Come out.
So do you want me to or am I going to be involved in this? Or?
No, you should button if things look like they're going to turn bad.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that under advisement.
Look, we have learnt that sometimes plans, unfortunately, do not go the way they're supposed to. So, just be ready.
You're starting to make me regret hiring you.
No, it'll be fine.
After that dancing. Oof.
There's half the fun is
Hard
seeing
to
the trouble
please.
that these guys get into.
I have heard so much about this dancing. I really regret not being down there.
Snooze you lose, Lorenzo. It's never happening again.
Usually
Promise me, next tavern, next town, we dance.
No promises. Absolutely not.
If we pull this off without making a fool of ourselves or shitting our pants, we
What?
dance in the next tavern.
What do you mean shitting your pants?
It doesn't matter.
It's just a phrase.
Is
to
that something
strange.
this one
Nothing
does?
has ever happened.
Just
Let's
a
move forward.
phrase. We
It's a long story.
Is that why he was in
very
bed for 3 days?
crude.
It's a strongman's joke.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
And you walk across the small part of town, across the courtyards. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Birds are chirping and flying across the sky. And you can see picturesque in this Italian-esque landscape, this old stone church with its little tower. It's not a tower you can climb up. It's just a bell tower with a bell hanging in and a rope. And outside, there's probably about 20 children running around playing. There's wide doors at the front. Traditional church vibes. And yeah, you approach the door. The doors are actually just open because the kids are out playing. You can walk on up if you want.
Do they look like they're leaving?
You're guessing
Like
it's like a recess or a lunch or a break.
So they'll return.
We can just talk to someone, see what happens.
So disappointed.
Oh, just imagine like a whole school full of Elios and imagine how hard it would be to get this job done. That's all I'm saying.
In fact, Elio is with them.
Oh,
Who's with us?
The kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
There's one.
Kids have a habit of like finding friends very quickly.
Yeah.
They've been in this town for you've been here for 4 nights, right? 3 nights, 4 nights. Yeah, Elio's going to school.
Surely we know from the time.
That's
if
adorable.
it's finished school time.
He could have been our sleuth agent.
It could have been. Yeah. So,
Bring back the clues, boy.
well, it's very critical to you that it's the school day is
Well,
over.
yeah, because recess is often quite short. This is from my knowledge.
This is medieval lunch. It's going to be at least an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad.
Medieval lunch.
Yeah. In fact,
Very medieval.
remember how Mediterranean this is? There's probably a siesta involved.
Yeah,
it might be 2
siesta.
hours.
Yeah.
People are
They'll
going
go
home, they're
home.
napping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we
Cool.
We shall.
You lead the
Let's
way.
just do.
head in?
Cool. You walk into the front door of the church.
I guess so.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
yeah.
The roof caves in. They did need an inspector. Okay, so you walk in the front door, and you guys, you don't know what a church should look like. But for those out of character, just so I can describe it, where the pews of a church would be, they all have been replaced with like wooden school desks. And there's books and little bookshelves against the walls. There's a few. Make an investigation check. Who's
Everyone.
leading? Who's leading this investigation? So you can get up to 2 people assisting you. So you can get 2 extra dice.
Yay.
Do that.
Ooh.
2 successes. You notice that there is an abundance of wooden beams and support struts that have kind of been built over the last X amount of years to help support a stone roof.
Can I make an engineering check?
You can make an engineering check
Appreciate it.
as you start to walk in.
Finally, you're in a place where you can say that.
Yeah, Leonie enters a church.
Can I claim the dice that is now rolled up
Nope.
your chair? What?
She just wants to pick it
I
up.
would like it. Oh, claim the dice. I thought you meant keep the roll. Like you dropped a dice on the floor and you're like, can I have that roll? I rolled a 6.
Tied by headphones.
There, the special die that you
Just fell.
absolutely could not proceed with.
Oh, I think Jen's a beast at this roll.
Check you.
Bam.
3 successes.
Hey, oh,
Okay. Yeah.
not bad.
Look, from your determination, you have a brief little look as you're walking in. It does seem to be sound, but now getting a bit old. So it's been a while since the last one, but it seems sound. Well made at the time. The person knew what they were doing.
Do we have any idea where specifically we're looking?
Nope.
Okay.
As you walk in as well, a lady rises from her desk where she's looking at a book and looks across at you, squints a little bit, and then says,
Hello, everyone. What can I do for you
Oh, this
today?
is going to be a walk in the park.
why did you jinx it?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, a cavalier of the crown.
Good day.
Many of the children dream of growing up to become one of you.
Oh, do they?
I used to fancy the idea myself.
Moving to Allegrano.
Ah, yes, but then I got married.
Right. It does
Oops.
ruin career prospects a little bit sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes, I guess. But at the same time, I have my wonderful children,
Classic
and
blood.
well, I've never been stabbed, so that's good.
I try to think of the
Wonderful.
positives.
Yes.
What brings you to my fine schoolhouse?
Well, as you can see, this is the one of the oldest buildings in town, and it is very important for the safety of people all across LUCEVERA that it be inspected. I was wondering how recently it had been inspected, the structures.
Never. I don't think we've ever heard of an inspection.
That's a problem.
You all look a lot like inspectors. Are you from Allegrano?
We are.
Yeah.
Make a
I
not for the Allegrano, but for the
Sure.
general concept of the deception that you're pulling off. Make a deception check
Surely-
with advantage. She believes that you're from Allegrano.
We are
We
from
look like inspectors.
Does this have help?
You have advantage.
Yeah.
Advantage. So that means I re-roll 1 fail,
2.
2 fails. Okay.
Oh,
4 successes.
well done.
Of course. Well, this is most unusual, but no one tells me anything, so I guess it makes sense. Is this a new initiative from the Great King?
Let's call it a trial.
I'm going to step forward at this point, sort of looking official with maybe a piece of paper or something. We specifically wish to inspect the roofs, these supports, and also, do you have any entrances underground? Perhaps a catacomb under this old building?
No catacomb. Well, there's a small section downstairs.
A cellar or...
It's sort of a cellar. It's been, at least the whole time I've been here, it's been converted, but other than that, I'm not sure. Much of the floor is covered in boards.
I see. We would greatly appreciate taking the time to inspect that.
Oh, you're welcome to. My room is actually down there. That is what it's been repurposed into. But you're welcome to go and have a look. Just my footlocker is where I keep my personal effects.
I'll look over the workers as they're looking around. That's fine. And the children, will they be coming back in any time soon, or?
Out of character. You really
You really hate these children. When they come back, we'll have to smell them.
You have to see the festy children.
Relevant. You got to work out your time slot that you've got to work out a plan.
Roll a ball down the street and have them chase
1 hour starts the heist.
Exactly.
We don't want the snotty noses to get on our clothes.
They have gone for their midday meal with their families. They have generally chores, and then they're back for a small lesson in the afternoon. Maybe 2 or 3 hours from now.
Oh, okay. And have you had any history of anything happening with the building? Any rubble? Any?
No, it's been very strong and stout.
Okay.
It's one of the oldest buildings in the town, I think. Maybe
Yes,
built,
impressive.
I would guess, 400 years ago.
Oh, much of this...
Diego at that is just like, and then covers his mouth.
Much of this old stonework has proven to be surprisingly brittle at times, depending on the load that's placed on them. Some people renovate with no idea as to how the structure is prepared or it can withstand. So
Oh, are you the one that works with stone?
I am indeed, and I hold up the hammer and sort of like
Her eyes follow down
Yes,
down to the bicep, and then she's just like,
Ah, yes, my husband used to be like a strong worker like you.
oh, what did your husband is a farmer, I assume, with the animals?
Yes, but he mostly worked in fencing and building the walls between the paddocks.
Lovely.
Lots of stonework.
It is a beautiful town.
Hard to understand sometimes, though.
Well, we best
Yes,
get to work.
we'll get to it.
And get out of your hair.
no,
Oh, okay.
it's because he's Gerald.
What?
That's what he's Gerald. Clarkson's fun.
Ah,
All right.
gotcha.
I guess we'll head
Yeah, down to the cellar.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank you.
You walk down into her bedroom. Down some stone steps. There's a wooden door. Open the door, and there is a 2 double bed down here. It looks like 2 people live here. There's a small kitchenette attached. You would guess her husband is the other person. And
Footlocker.
by the way, age-wise, this woman's about 40, 45, and you'd guess when she was referring to children, they're grown. Because she's living in this schoolhouse now, and yeah, but it's a pretty modest living.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like there's
no
children
children's
living.
beds or
Yeah.
anything down there. And you do see there is like a lot of crocheting.
Crochet.
Yeah, sure, it's great. Thank you for correcting my pronunciation. Love that.
Just checking if there's a different
that is
thing.
the correct thing. Crochet.
And a foot locker.
And a footlocker at the bottom of her bed.
We
Yes.
say lock.
It's sort of got like a small jewelry box lock. It's like a
The
brass
Only
set
thing
into
she
the chest.
says, like, leave my personal things alone.
Yeah.
You're just like, personal
I'm
things?
watching you like a
I'm
hawk.
just clarifying that was in the room.
So I'm just going to stand over here and mind my business. Away from the footlocker. Loads ballista pointing at footlocker.
Right.
All
Is
right,
there
let's see
anything
it.
in this room that looks like it leaves it down?
No.
Can I start jumping on the floorboards?
You can. Can you make it?
Sick.
Can you make an intuition reflexes check?
Also, I take it that Diego has no further information.
Diego,
Once we're in here, he's just like, there is probably something.
Diego is just taking in the doilies. Like he's like looking at the craft, the little flowers that have been.
Hey,
3 successes.
Nice.
So Leone, while you're looking around the room, just starts jumping on the floorboards like a little maniac. And there's bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And Leone did this almost on an instinct that was like, she just kind of realized it, that the floorboards when you walked into the room actually stepped up. So the boards of the floor
right.
are like suspiciously, it's odd because you would imagine this building would have a stone floor and then there's these wooden floorboards that are on top of the stone.
You're right.
And as you jump around the room, you do reach a point in one of the corners where there is like a little sag under the jumping and the sound is different.
Okay, Lorenzo, you should smash this.
I won't smash, but it looks like a simple.
Thank you.
And as you look down at the floorboards, which says smash and look up, there's like this thing that's like home sweet home, like written on like a thing hanging on a little.
You just smash it. It's fine.
No, I cannot bear. But I try and like get my fingers in around it and pull up a floorboard.
Make a strength engineering check.
Can I
To
assist?
delicately do it.
Yeah.
Can I assist?
Can you assist? No, this is a one-person job.
Oh.
1.
I thought that was a sweeping failure. You just like snap the board, fall backwards across the room, and like fall into a dresser and break everything. With 1 success, what you basically attempt to pry these up delicately and gently, and you just realize that there's not enough space for your fingers to get purchase. You would be able to probably do it, but the actual design of everything makes it almost impossible. It's also super old. There's a lot of dirt like crusted into it. It's very infused. You probably need to like
Can I slide
grate
my
out
sword?
in between the slats and stuff. Can you what?
Slide my sword in it?
Your rapier?
Yeah, or my little dagger. Little side dagger.
Yeah, you can sort of poke around. What, into the wood or into the...
Into the gap? But like if
Try
it's
and pry
planks.
it, is that-
It's kind of
Try and
like,
put it
it's kind
between.
of almost like very heavily condensed dirt at this point. Like you would look at it and be like, it's grouting between tiles. But logically it's like, it's 400 years of dirt compacted in between the floorboards.
Hey, Diego, do you have like a...
Actually, they're probably younger than that.
Wait,
They'd probably only be-
would you not have
they're floorboards? They would.
like
They'd have
a
to get replaced.
tool, like a spanner, chisel, something for your constructions?
I don't bring in that stuff with me. I have to carry this thing around with me.
Dagger?
Dagger will do.
Does Diego say anything to my response? Nope.
Looks to DM for solution. Diego is enthralled by a wonderful, wonderful, like
Knitting.
crocheted family
Sucking on the
portrait.
doilies.
Okay, never mind.
It's like 8-bit almost. It's low res because it's crocheted, but it's like a family portrait.
That's so cute.
Okay, never mind.
Can
I just want to
This is fascinating.
stick the dagger and see if I can, as you said, like shave away at it. Right?
Yeah, sure. Look, if you take a long time, you'll be able to clear it out. But
What's a long time?
Yeah. What is
like
a long time?
hours.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
So it's dirt that's sunk into the gaps.
It's basically super condensed for decades. It's almost like grouting. So you can carve it all out, but it'd be like quite an intense job. I mean, look,
Right,
maybe
okay.
you could get done in like half an hour.
So maybe
but you're not just
smashing the
clearing
wood.
one. But if you're doing
could-
one board, that's
could
less.
just
To
smash
clear
it.
an area big enough to
I'll-
work in.
I'll move out of the way for Bianca to sort of like
Get started.
stuff doing that. I'm just going to go around the edges of the outside of around the floor where I'm assuming it's stonework, and just sort of check the stones and how they fold into the floorboards and if it seems like it goes down or how old the stonework is.
Yeah, I'm going to basically do the same thing or like help.
It all seems, as you go around it all seems just like a room. Like it's rather peculiar that there's this saggy, strange, like weird feeling bit of wood that just Leone's intuition has found.
As you go around, Lorenzo go past Bianca. She's like on the floor, like trying to get it. She's like, I feel like a bloody servant on my hands and knees doing all this. Just muttering to herself.
when we walked down here, was there any other? It was like, do they have a kitchen? Do they have a?
Yeah, it's like there's like a detached little. It's one room space, like a lot. So there's
Can I explore the room? Like to see if there's.
you're standing in it and you've seen everything.
Oh, okay,
There's
cool.
a bed. There's like some There's a chimney. There's a fireplace that goes up to a little chimney on the.
While
roof of the
everyone's
church.
distracted, I'm going to go over to that footlocker.
And what are you going to do to the footlocker?
Oh, wait, I'm wrong character. I'm going to try and open it.
Do you have a lock? Okay, it's locked.
Okay.
Are you sneaking?
Sure. I thought it was my other character, so I was like, I've got a lockpick. I don't have a lockpick.
Okay.
But I'm going to use engineering. Well, I'd like to sort of engineer, look at it, have a see what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I will sneak. Sorry.
Make
since your
a
question.
stealth check.
Do we get to roll to see?
Yeah, you
if
make an
we
acuity
notice?
check. You have disadvantage though because you're on your hands and knees grinding into the
Finesse
dirt.
or reflex?
Just a regular stealth check, finesse.
Are we all acuitying?
Yep, you can. One success for Leonie.
I got 3.
Oh,
And a sweeping failure.
That's 1 spirit gone.
You lose a spirit as you break a nail and get floored
Covered
dirt
in
grime in your fingernail.
You said disadvantage on acuity?
I like that it's like a catastrophic, awful thing to happen. Lose one spirit.
is.
And it completely did. That's why you didn't notice her, because it just sucks your attention into this this horrible thing.
You said disadvantage?
Only for only
I got
for
2.
Bianca. You definitely spot Leone sneak over to the footlocker and start looking at it.
I'm basically just going to sigh, but then I have an idea, and I want to see if I can make something alchemical to perhaps dissolve the dirt.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, gut instinct, you probably can, and rare opportunity. I'll get you to roll your alchemy with. We're basically treating that as a substitute for engineering. So
Investigation.
I'm going to go,
Oh, no.
intelligence. Intelligence alchemy.
Okay.
That's cool.
oh,
2.
Murray.
2 successes.
Should you reroll?
I already did.
2 on 7 dice.
Look, it's enough. It's not overly complicated to make a solution that's going to like break down some old dirt.
I made a solution.
You have like aqua regia. You have like high strength sulfuric acid.
A mixture of H2O should do the trick.
You combine soap and water. Look,
In like vials. Yes, this will do it.
you can craft that up pretty quickly.
Cool. All right, I'm going to do that.
Magic.
And you're ignoring Leone.
Yeah, no, this is immediately going to distract me.
Oh my
And
god.
what did you get, Lorenzo?
I got 3.
Oh, you
I'm
definitely
like,
see her.
I like walk up to her and I'm like, Leonie,
Actually, yeah,
what
I
are you
do. I
doing?
did have
Don't do
disadvantage.
that. That's the one thing she said. Don't touch my personal
Well,
box.
I only just wanted to see if there was something inside that could help us.
It's not an old box. It's just her things.
What does the lock look like?
It's a small, like
my
brass,
God.
like jewelry box lock. It's not like a hanging lock on the outside.
Do I
It's like
think
an
I
inset
could
lock.
like?
You think that any average laborer male or above average laborer female would be able to just open it with their bare hands and break the lock? Like, just like.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
What's your strength?
Her strength to resist this
And your
is
power?
0.
3.
You could probably rip it open.
Sick.
Don't.
Well, I'm not going to take anything.
What? But then she
Would
will.
I break?
You will break the lock. She will know you looked at her personal
You're literally
things.
breaking the box. You would just be ripping the lid open and the little tiny lock would just go.
Oh, okay.
We are employed to do something completely different. I at this point, I like push the box on the ground and like
Diego
grab
leans in
her
and
by
is
the
like,
shoulders.
And you are accusing me of being unethical.
I wasn't actually going to do it.
Quest. Get into this sanctum and half loot is yours.
GM said
Leone,
box.
what's in the old woman's crate?
spoiler alert.
Laundry.
Playboy.
Lingerie.
It rhymes with Zoomers. So,
Boomers.
Bloomers.
Oh.
It's her knickers, mate. What do you think's in
That's what it
there?
says.
Hoping for a
It's her
crowbar.
marital knickers.
Really hoping for a crowbar, but it's fine.
It's no crowbar in her personal thing.
Yeah, but crowbar.
She just like, she folds her underwear, lays it down. She puts her locket of her children and kisses it.
Yeah.
She gets her crowbar and kisses it. And puts
Tucks it into bed.
So a photo of her husband.
Oh god.
One day I will
point-
murder him with this.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh my god.
You'll never know. I will keep
So,
it in
You live in a
Arvin
wonderful
finishes
world.
making a solution and walks over to Bianca, who is, how are you
Calm
feeling?
away.
I've stopped what I was doing as soon as I broke the nail
Okay.
and put away my sword, and I'm trying to like fix it. I'm trying to make it not look as bad.
We've reached an insurmountable roadblock.
I've had enough.
Look,
There's maybe like an inch of this dirt that's been flicked up with a knife.
I've done what I can.
An inch of nail added to it.
I know we want to leave this place intact, but we are inspecting, and if it is unsafe and there is a hollow underneath,
I am not intact.
Let me try this first.
Cool.
I'm going to do the thing.
You pour the liquid over it. And there is a fizzing and a bubbling and then a brown running of liquid. The process takes a couple of minutes.
Lorenzo, look away. I got PTSD.
As you pour it up the cracks, and and it seeps through and dissolves, making enough space for someone to effectively pry up the boards,
Cool. All right, I'm going to grab my knife and you're going to get yours.
Oh, that was
like
way
Lorenzo,
easier.
who tried to do it before.
I'll try again.
Okay,
He could, but he can just use his big muscles.
Do it.
Go
We
for it.
will use our best effective manner to pry it up.
Is this just a strength power check, or is this
It's still going to be strength engineering, but this
And
time
I'll assist you.
you can have assistance by
Yay,
one,
cool.
and you have slight advantage.
Okay. Beep. Oh, sick.
Hey,
That's,
solar
that's
sister.
6.
And with the space for his meaty fingers,
Nice.
Lorenzo can pull up the floorboards, and the nails are sort of pulling directly out of the wood that they're set in. And you manage to pull up some
Yay.
floorboards. As soon as the first floorboard is lifted,
the rest, just
but you see straight away that underneath is more wood.
Oh.
And by the time you've like prized up one and prized up the next and prized up the third, this wood just continues, but it's cut and squared off differently until you see a brass trim around it and then an old like latch handle, and you reveal a trapdoor underneath.
I believe we have found something we've been looking for. I say, like eyeing Diego.
Might be a bad time to ask this question, but do we have any way to cover it up once we're done?
I have a hammer and there are nails. I will try and put it back.
You could put a festive rug over it.
Okay. Does this seem like it, Diego?
I don't really know what I'm looking for, so.
Yeah, okay, very helpful.
But
Also-
look, I mean, honestly, ancient building, old church, buried floorboard, trapdoor leading to mystery room no one knows about. It's pretty good in my sense.
This
Well,
seems
you
like
employed the
a
best.
hefty lead, I would say.
Well done. Hopefully the spoils inside are worth it.
Do you have a torch?
What is... Oh, like a flaming... Me?
Eh.
Of course.
Oh, good. Okay.
In fact, you want me to carry it? That's a good idea.
And he pulls out a torch.
Well, I mean,
Sick.
you are all competent in violence, yes?
Combat?
Trails off staring at
Yeah,
the contraption
combat.
in your back.
I like rub my bruises and like you are expecting violence between and this ancient.
Oh, no. Expecting, no. But it pays
Have you
to be-
ever come across violence in these?
Have you ever come across violence?
It's a funny time you would ask me now about that. Yes.
What kind of violence?
Or you, fellow explorers, sometimes raiders.
Well, there won't be fellow explorers or raiders down there, surely.
We don't know that.
So closed off.
I've sometimes seen things that,
Other entrances?
no, maybe you wouldn't believe. So it's fine. It's just fancy stories. You wouldn't believe me, so let's just explore.
We'll see.
I would be curious to hear these stories when we return to the tavern after we go down this mysterious, strange dark hole.
Certainly.
And I lift the latch.
Where did we get our stone dial from?
You found it buried in the ruins of an old building, which you thought was like a watch house or guardhouse.
Okay. Nice.
Cool.
And does it stink?
There is stairs leading down. It doesn't really stink. It smells musty.
Ooh.
I say stairs. I mean a ladder. A ladder is more logical.
We inspect the array of interiors.
Do we want a castle?
Or the gate.
Ooh,
Kind of looks like
that'll do.
underground.
That's pretty good.
We literally just need like an old
It's like a
brick
church,
dark
yeah.
wall. Anyway, it'll do.
Okay.
We
So
all
you
go
all
down the
clamber
ladder.
down.
Yes.
Light the torch.
Once you reach the bottom, you are in what would be described as an antechamber. And down here, Diego lights his torch and provides flame. He says, it would be best then
Does
for
he?
me to stick in the middle of the group to spread the light around.
Sounds good.
None of you have a torch?
Nope.
No. We should have thought of that.
Some of us are low on funds.
And all of us are pretty new to this whole adventuring thing. Wait, you look at me when you say that like you don't respect me because I'm broke.
No, I was stating a fact.
I want to contribute to the cost of our rooms. I'm just poor. But I'm very grateful that you're paying the way for a very comfortable stay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Can you make fire oven?
I can make things on fire.
Well,
Prefer that not to happen.
after Diego has lit his thing, is what is it like down here?
You're in an antechamber. It's very old. There's old hanging cobwebs from bugs that died a long time ago. There's a couple of doors leading off it, but it's of a make and architecture you're not particularly familiar with, even the design. In fact, the interesting thing about the doors is that they seem to be made of metal, which is, it's not impossible. There are some buildings that have metal doors, but it's unusual.
Does it look very old?
Yes, it looks extremely old. And in fact, one of the characterizing features is there's a couple of like stones in the walls and ceilings that are sort of sagging into the room, like dislodged from their placing with like dirt that's pushed out and tree roots and like burrow holes and things in the walls.
Cool.
Is there sconces on the walls?
There's a couple. Yeah.
Anything in them?
No.
And you
Just
said
literally
there's
places to hold torches.
one metal door or a bunch of
There's
doors?
two doors.
Can I go and put my ear to them and see if I can hear like either like wind whistling or
One of your
scuffling?
finest dripping noises, please, Jazza. It's like someone's making out with a drip. There's a lot of mouth noise in there as well.
There's some kind of slobbering monster
It's like,
in there.
there's some kind of passionate sort of drip kiss session happening.
Look through the keyhole, there's just a dog licking itself on the other
I
side.
thought it was pretty
You're
good.
traumatizing Triss. You're
I thought it was
traumatizing
pretty
Triss.
good.
The drips were really good.
Yeah.
What
Is
is
it
it?
in both doors? Nice.
Ooh,
That was really good.
Hey.
We're recording that? That'll be good.
There we go. That's good Foley. That one's much better.
Should have gotten to that.
Much less mouth noise, much more funny bloopy sound.
Hey.
Oh, that was a good one.
Damn.
You
Did
should,
I-
you
got
should
that now. I
copyright
got
that
that
and
now.
sell it.
You hear a improv artist practicing their routine on the other side of the door.
And if I go to the other door?
Similar. It's just sort
Oh.
of, there's no like
Okay.
overly, it's just a dull emptiness and some passive sounds.
It sounds...
Occasional metal creaking noises.
Can I
Like
just
there's
have
something dropping.
silence for 1 second?
Insert Dwemer Ruin sound effect.
Just 1 second. Ready? Okay. That's it.
Did
That's
you
it.
record that?
Yes.
Nice.
I can put that in the background.
Oh my god.
I accidentally deleted it.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were so excited about it.
Take long.
Okay, one more time.
Okay. No, let's proceed with the freaking episode. So,
I'll walk in front holding like the base, like my hammer's like upside down. I'm holding around the heavy head of the hammer and using the length of the stick to like clear cobwebs at the front of the group with Bianca.
How
who
very
is-
gentlemanly.
I can't have you getting dirty. We
No,
know how much
absolutely
that
not.
upsets you.
I'm glad you noticed.
Like for any like inscriptions above or around the doors, something that might allude to what they
this
were for.
particular room is completely devoid of
Okay.
anything interesting.
All right.
All right. Next question. Can we analyze the doors? They look metal. Can we work out if they're, heavens forbid, a solid metal or like the metal cladding on wood or something?
There will be some.
They're solid metal.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
Can I just see if one opens?
I pull the handle. Which one? Left or forward?
Oh, hold on, no,
Left or
wait,
So we're down in the antechamber.
wait.
There's like a little hallway thing.
Yeah, you're
And we
just
have a
now it's just an antechamber.
door on
It's
the
just
left,
like a
door
square
in
room.
front of us.
Why are we waiting?
Wait, Diego, don't you have plans of this place? You showed me them.
Yeah, he pulls out a scroll and starts looking through.
About time.
Very vague plans. What do you want to know?
Well, where are we?
Oh, it's not like a comprehensive map. No, it's just vaguely the castle would be forward.
Okay,
The castle.
is that's all that's on the map? Can I just look at it?
The place with
It
the...
was like a regional map, right?
Yeah.
On
so
how you
it
found
wasn't. It
location.
wasn't like a mini map in a video game.
In all of our information finding over the past 3 days, had we found any information on what's down here? Okay.
Oh,
all right.
there was a symbol of what did I describe it as? There was a symbol that indicated some kind of workshop of value. I believe it was something along that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, cool. I just wanted to double check.
I say we go to the right door because you should always be right.
Cool.
It's on
That
the
was not a
left.
choice.
Left or
Left
No.
forward?
Yeah, no,
So
it
there's
was left.
one is going to be on the right if there's one on the left.
No, there's one in front of
So
us.
forwards is to the right of the left
Listen,
door.
okay. If you
The
face,
right door.
if you face the door on the left, the door at the end will be on your right, so we could go.
Very good.
All right.
What do they teach people in Cavalier School?
It's the hat.
Sword fighting. Believe it or not.
So, straight ahead.
Straight ahead, it seems, our glorious leader.
Honestly, I think that we will be checking all the rooms. That just stands to reason. Correct,
I'm going
Diego?
to open the door.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you didn't just leave.
Make a
rooms.
power check.
Power.
Oh, this is going to be great.
I'm bad at this.
Like a muppet hitting a wall.
Challenge level 2.
Oh.
You grab the ring of the door pull. There is a grinding creak of like metal that's aged and like just lifting the handle up, and then when you yank on it, the door doesn't move.
Can I?
Okay, it's stuck.
Allow me. One.
Wow.
It's
It's stuck.
tougher than it looks.
Maybe we should try the other door then. Can I check the structural integrity of this place? Yeah.
make an engineering check.
Door.
And I'm going to say, look,
Oh, that muscle.
I'm just going to throw out there that
I
at
feel-
that, you would probably all just believe that it's stuck.
Yeah, probably.
If Lorenzo couldn't open it, your assumption would be,
I feel like we need this. This makes me feel like we need a mechanic where if the challenge level is low enough and your
Could have used
roll
the
is
knack.
high enough that you get like an advantage.
it was challenge level 2, you could have used a knack.
I'll use an act. This is my pride on the line here.
Okay.
I got 4.
We have a
successes.
mechanic, it's called knack. It's to allow you to boost checks and make you succeed when you want to.
I feel like Leone would have like seen that
Something
there's like
stopping
a
you to checking
a
this anyway.
trigger with a latch or something, but like instead of like letting you do it, I'm like,
No, you were
no,
checking
no,
the
I was
structural
checking the
integrity.
stru-
How many
yeah, yeah,
successes
yeah.
did you get?
4 successes.
I think we just like got to open the door.
no.
This particular room seems okay.
Okay.
So-
but there's a very good chance that maybe some rooms aren't going to fare as well.
You're guessing this is still part of like the large foundation and infrastructure of the church. So
Yeah.
it seems to be fairly solid. But judging from some of the like rock and stone that's been knocked out, your guess would be in areas, now you're underground, in areas that might be tunnels with soil above them, they're more likely to be severely less secure.
Yay. Okay.
Because obviously this castle, this church, has a lot of empty air above it. Like it's a floor and then empty air, whereas dirt weighs a lot. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
All right. Cool.
So you open the door with a knack rather than just trying the door on the left. And have you all seen I Think You Should Leave?
No.
The Netflix
Rings-
comedy show.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I know.
Rings a
yeah.
bell.
There is an amazing skit where he opens the pull door or the push door with a pull, and he's like, "It's a pull, it's a pull," and he just drags it against the hinges. So it's in the first episode. Go watch it. That's basically you just like,
You guys are pulling.
and there's like scraping against the stone, and you're like, "I got this."
Open, and the
Beads of
hinges are like
sweat.
facing the other way.
And then it's just, there's like this cracking, buckling sound as the door opens and then remains 45 degrees lodged, bent back against its hinges. It
Congratulations.
was a push door, and not both of you
Wow,
pulled.
I just said
didn't
I
even
tried to
pick up
open
on
the
that.
door.
You failed the roll. So I'm making a joke. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
You bested a door.
Well,
You didn't.
All right, go ahead.
And I'll
Okay.
yeah.
Looking
He can die
forward,
first.
you see
Trying his best.
looking forward, you see pitch blackness and steps descending down, and sort of an arched roof with a few dislodged stones and soil and stuff hanging through that just sort of indicates a stairwell heading downwards.
Oh, this is creepy.
All right. I feel that stairs denote like another area. Do we want to check the other door before we
I
proceed?
think that's probably
Yes.
a good idea.
Why not?
Right.
Do you
Just
want
if
to,
it's easy?
maybe try when you open to push it.
Push. Like this? No. Attempt to.
Make a power check. These doors have been seized for a long time. Challenge level 1.
I knew that was going.
Oh, what? You got this.
I don't want to be completely unfair.
Yeah.
Please
It's a
roll
little unfair.
3.
And you just
You
push
did
it,
it
and it just
anyway.
definitely. There's a little rusty sound, but it swings open and fully opens normally.
Probably takes my body weight to push it.
Yeah. And you reveal a short corridor that leads to another door. Very fancy, very useful, with a little sconce in it.
Ah.
But the door on this is sort of left. So it seems to be the main purpose of it is to like turn you around, if that makes sense. So like where the stairs went down, where the antechamber is, sort of is leading away from the church. This little corridor leads, and then there's a door leading back the way you came. So it would lead under the church foundations.
All right. This frame here, this archway, this seems I don't know, important.
Let's explore this level before we go down. I agree.
All right.
I would think down is better if we're looking for buried ancient things.
For sure. And we will explore all of this.
Deeper.
Okay.
Deeper is usually harder to come back from the further you delve.
All right.
In my experience with caves and whatnot.
I mean, I'm just going on pure excitement. We've got dark stairs, fancy throne
Fancy
room
door. Let's go to the
Wait,
fancy,
fancy
door.
door. Oh,
Fancy
I want
door.
to come see
Less
this.
dirt, less spiderwebs.
Wonderful.
Does the door swing back or does it stay?
It stays open. They're really heavy.
Okay.
But they would have probably swung back in the day, but because the hinges are so rusted and warped and
And
deformed, it just
Do they have the
Do you
air of
want
like
to-
something that probably was exceptionally well balanced when it
yes,
worked?
yeah. When it was made, it was very good, but now it's like it just sort of stays where you pushed it to.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Would you like to try the door again?
It's
So
already
do you
open.
go up to the door in this
Oh,
room?
the new door.
Yeah.
Fancy
I'll
door.
try the new fancy
It's the fancy
door.
one.
Yeah,
Okay,
God,
so
yes.
I would like to describe this as, in some corridors, they have that little nook where it
Yeah.
gets deeper. So it's like the corridor width, but then where the actual doorway is, this is a double door. Where the doorway is, there's like a little recess, so it feels more grand. You can have more people. There's two little sconces on either side. There's a big double door in front of you, and on it, there is a very dusty and old-looking design that pulls towards the center of this room and seems to have a chunk missing out of it.
Chunk missing out of the door or out of the
Out
design?
of the design, these like sort of stone emblem in the
Weirdly
center of the door.
disc-shaped, perchance.
Yeah, there just seems like you have a piece that would slot into it.
Hey, that thing we got it.
Okay, hold on. Can I have a handkerchief and clean the dust?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like you, as you're doing this, so have you got the piece in your hands ready to slot in?
I was not necessarily. I was more just.
Okay.
I didn't want to touch it when it was all dusty.
Okay, so you wipe some of the dust off? Okay.
Yeah. But then, I guess once I wiped it off, then I'll hold my hand out for the piece.
Who was carrying it? I just
I
assumed you had it,
assumed,
Bianca.
Bianca.
I mean, I wrote it down. All
Yeah,
right.
you've got
I
it.
will-
Cool.
It's literally written in your.
I would
take
I
down
would
the
like you
dial.
to make an intuition intelligence check.
Okay.
Challenge level for this is 3.
Look.
Okay.
Roll like fire. Roll again.
That is.
Guys, I don't roll well, okay? This should be known.
You lose a spirit.
Another one.
That's another nail.
She's really struggling with the dirty environment.
I chipped my other nail.
You know when you're driving and then you suddenly realize like you've driven a location and you can't really, you're on autopilot? Mm-hmm. You slot the thing into the door and turn something as if you knew what you were doing, but you don't even recall it. The next thing you remember after looking at this tablet is stepping back from this symbol.
Oh.
As this stone rotates and the green, these things twist. There's like two elements of stone twisting and rotating, turning and shaping. And then there's a click and a lock and a sudden thing that you notice that's rather odd as this stone mural has twisted with this mechanism and formed into the shape of like a very realistically wrought and kind of uncomfortably well wrought human skull. And then the two sconces on the left and the right just go
No, I
and
don't
ignite
like
with green flame.
this. Green.
Did I do it?
Yes, it's very creepy. I think you did something.
I'm hoping this is just a dramatic flair.
Do you, why is the fire green? That's not normal.
I've never seen green.
Some chemicals can make them burn green.
Does it
That's
smell?
No?
What?
I'm
Yeah,
I'm probably more
hear a-
curious than, oh my god.
Shit.
What does that mean?
What?
I guess you want to go look, yes?
Wait.
Oh, you first.
I don't usually think green fire is a sign of good things.
No, it's pretty evil looking.
Yeah, I'm
if
going
you ask
to
me.
analyze the fire just as purely as a freaking alchemical nerd.
Make a knowledge check. Investigation, actually. You're discovering
Just scream
information.
at you, nerd.
Investigation.
I'm feeling real like Scooby-Doo vibes here. Like,
Yeah, right.
we're going to figure out it was those pesky kids.
Right
Wait,
into
no,
different
we are the
doors.
pesky kids.
Four?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
There is a faint smell of a chemical that you seem to remember.
Sorry.
And you also can hear like a really, really subtle sound.
Oh. I'm going to.
You don't get any sense of danger.
Oh.
You asked to understand.
It's not like foreboding.
Your role was the artifice and mechanism and alchemy. It was a curiosity of how this was working.
Yeah, okay.
And it kind of reminds you of a chemical burner, like that you would use in your alchemy. So you're like, for you, the mystery disappears a little bit as you go like, it must be like why would it be set up like this? But it must be a chemical burner mechanism that's doing it.
Cool.
Because you can hear a gas.
Yeah, okay. And can I determine that this burner is basically just producing, like it lit the flame. So there's some sort of ignition and then whatever's creating the green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you imagine is just what is fueling it, gives it a green tint.
Cool. And I'm basically just going to like poke around it in fascination.
By the way, as that happened, there was like the and a little powder of dust from the middle of the door as the inside like opens a little bit. It doesn't open the door automatically. It just the seal is cracked.
Yeah. I'm
basically.
not interested in a door anymore.
Okay.
really
Maybe
into
the
this
fire
fire.
was just to light the way. You know, it's dark down here.
No, I think I was right. This is all dramatic flair. This is very ingenious.
Okay.
This is actually pretty interesting. Shall we?
Well, I bested the door.
And I'll push it open.
You push it open and the door swings and you take a few steps into a room. Diego takes a few steps after you so that like the fire torchlight follows you, almost leaving long shadows into this room. And as you gaze around, you realize first the shape of the room is the perfect reflection of the church above in size. There are pews, wooden chairs. You're not really familiar with it. You see wooden chairs, long wooden chairs like a park bench in rows on either side of this room. And as the torchlight flicks around, you see the walls lined up in the walls, posed in all these different ways, but in a repose of death are human skeletons, sort of almost like statues, but up against the wall doing different things. Some of them holding like weights, like a merchant's weight, some of them with a sword, some of them with all different things. And they're all just like lining the wall of this building. All the walls.
Creepy. Yay.
Lorenzo's like taking mental pictures, like This is going to be so cool to draw.
What
Do you-
on earth is this?
Do you know what it's made of, Lorenzo?
These figures,
Yeah.
they're skeletons.
Diego like walks up with a flame and like, I think they're real.
Oh, that's great. Yay.
You love dead things, Leonie.
Have you found anything cooler than green flame?
Yes, there's skeletons. I mean, yeah, real
They're the
skeletons.
bodies.
Yeah.
Now come look.
And you walk into this very strange room with strange architecture. The walls lined with skeletons, all posed.
What is where the altar?
You have to walk further in. Your torchlight only extends a short distance.
Yeah, I'll go look at the skeletons. I sort of want to analyze, how long they've been there, what condition their bones are in.
Very well preserved, very old.
Ah, so there's probably some sort of substance perhaps preserving them.
You'd guess that there's just a pretty untouched catacomb.
Oh, fascinating.
Can I inspect the sword that one of them was holding?
Yeah, it's
Is
that.
it good
that
quality?
is. Well, it might have been once, but it's now like oxidized
And rusty. Okay. But nothing that would give me a clue as to like, oh, this was held by a royal guard or anything, or like what kind of person.
Make an intuition check.
Okay.
Cool. And the skeletons themselves, are they sort of attached and posed using something? I presume it's not like a rotten body.
They seem to be. They seem to be almost built like chiseled. Okay. So I'll answer that. You got 4 successes. The really interesting thing is it seems like the amount of craft that has gone into this is crazy. It seems like someone has hand chiseled like into the stonework of the walls, with Lorenzo would guess. Basically the back 75% of the skeletal frame exactly of the bones and then
Perfect
place
indents
them
for them.
into the stone. So they're like fully 75% inset into the walls, and then using that leverage and weight of the fact they're mostly in the stone but still visible because it's cut open, some of the bits are protruding in interesting ways. And then where bones obviously don't hold themselves together, yes, you can see that there is like wire. Wire is the wrong word because wire is a bit techie, but there's sort of like little artifices of buckles and things that some of them are falling apart. There's a couple of bones on the floor.
Lorenzo can't help but like get close to them and just like admire the artistry.
You strongly suspect that they are all indicative of occupations. So from that
So like
fortune.
archetypes of civilization and
Or perhaps, although this would be weird, literally what these people did in their life.
So there was someone holding a sword. What were the other ones?
It was a
There's
merchant-looking one.
like dozens of there. The wall is lined in these. It's like body. You just within like your eyesight, you
Like
can see
a
like 40
catacombs, right?
bodies. They're all standing
Yeah,
and
but
built into the
instead of
walls.
lying down.
All
Yeah.
right, let's keep moving, shall we?
do you think this is a cult or maybe a secret order,
Don't
perhaps?
sound so
I don't
excited.
know.
Probably just a gravesite, to be honest.
There is something beautiful about the way art can immortalize.
It's very reverent.
Well, I'll be sure
Creepy.
to put you standing upright with your hammer when you die.
Think about it. If someone saw me 100,000 years from now, maybe, and they knew something about who I was from this, truly, that is a beautiful creation. I sort of say, like, looking up at this.
Yeah, it's all very pretty, but it's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Can we hurry up, please?
We all
Yes,
look the
and
same
you.
underneath, don't we?
Ugh.
I don't get this opportunity very much. I sort of say, like, admiring, like, the skeletal structure. Sorry, yes, we must.
Let's keep going. Further in, I guess.
We meander.
You reach what would be where the pew is, and there is a large altar there. Again, you're not particularly familiar with what an altar is, but it seems to be almost like a lectern in a lecture theatre.
An old version of the school, maybe.
And on the stone towards the back wall, it's built in like a king's throne, as there's a lot of reverence, and there is a body that is still wearing the sort of worn remnants of fine robes with embroidery and lettering. There's also some tapestries on the wall behind that are quite degraded. And they are bowed in a kind of reverence, but their head is missing. But they're much the same as the others. It seems like a physical body. On the altar itself, facing everyone, is a skull, like facing out towards the room. Also a large dusty book and some strange implements.
Oh, look at the book.
Could it be assumed that this skull is from this body?
Look, it would be easy to assume that, yes.
May I look at the book?
You want to open it?
Yes, after wiping
It's
off the
it's
dust
very
with my
dusty.
handkerchief.
Okay, you open the first page. It is one of the finest written pieces of manuscript you've ever seen. The back cover, as it's open, the leather-bound cover, has been entirely pressed with little dimpling tools to just change the elevation, and you can see just like the inset of skulls laid over the top of each other, just like forming a textured inside of the thing. On the front, there is a strange illustration taking up the majority of the first page and a title in a language you don't understand. And there is this strange figure of a black-robed traveler, like a sort of a night traveler that you'd see journeying between towns, maybe in poor weather. And he seems really gaunt and thin, and he's sort of leaning into and holding what looks like a farmer's scythe. It's kind of a peculiar imagery. Just this character. And there's a title to the book.
A black-clad farmer.
A black
traveler.
fully cloaked traveler with like their face with a hood. You can't really see any of their features. Holding a farmer's scythe, a farm tool. Yeah,
I see. Diego,
can you make a deft of hand check for me, please, Bianca?
To avoid dust.
Knife just thrown in straight.
break this freaking book.
Hey, okay, just stop asking me to roll. Deft of hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Challenge level 2. It's not too bad.
Don't fail me.
Hey,
Ooh,
nice.
That was
6
pretty good.
successes.
Yo.
I'm deft today.
You innately, through the handling of this book, realize that this needs to be handled with extreme delicacy, and in fact, probably with gloves. As when you touch, let's say you touch part of the paper with your finger, you have gloves.
Luckily, Bianca has gloves.
Yeah, you touch part of the paper, and like it actually basically falls apart. And then when you, with your gloves, daintily turn the page, it's okay. So you can do it, but you're aware it's extremely old and fragile.
And all the other pages, are they art-filled or just language-filled that I
Text.
don't read?
But they have that gorgeous, those big letters that start the thing, but they're all illustrated with all this stuff.
Yeah,
Like this
This is incredible.
this book would be worth a king's ransom. In even a modern book of the same quality would be like the life work. Well, not the life. 5 years work of the finest scribe sort of thing.
You I mean, this I'm reminding you out of character, but you met the book people,
I did.
so they would be pretty keen.
We all met the book people, technically.
I don't think
They were all in the tavern.
but you saw their work.
I
and-
did.
Yeah, you interacted with them professionally.
Yeah.
Sort of like
fun.
glancing over them, looking at this book, which I quickly deduce is not some sort of like recipe book or almanac or something. And then it sort of
Not
occurs to me
interested.
that, it's clearly valuable and pretty. I sort of look over and what's Diego up to?
Diego has got a big bit of parchment out, and he is actually like drawing and cataloging. And Lorenzo's pretty distracted, but Lorenzo does notice that Diego seems to be an accomplished draftsman and artist. Like he's very quickly getting renditions. He's busy. He's even finding some things and doing like charcoal rubbings of them and just gathering. He takes a few knickknacks and trinkets. You see like, one of the skeletons leaning down with quite a nice like ring on their finger, and he just pops off their finger, just cracks off the bones and just puts it in his pocket.
like a crab leg.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think I'd like to have a look at this kingly figure that's sort of on the throne.
Are there any other doors in this room?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just like, is he, I don't know, perhaps in some sort of, you said he's sort of bowed forth. Like, is he doing some sort of gesture? Is he holding something?
He
Is there
seems to
anything
be
about his body that sort of denotes who he was?
make an intuition check.
Okay.
Did you say there was a skull separately, like somewhere
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
There's
the
one
skull
on the
is on the
table.
lectern facing the where the pews would be. Two successes. He seems to be bowed in like a respectful submission. Like you would describe it as like someone who is being very honorable and bowing reverently towards someone, but also in submission and acceptance, sort of like I put myself at your mercy, sort of a bow.
As someone with a history in dealing with people on death's door, the sort of, or the people who think they are going to die, like having seen soldiers and whatever, I sort of take a moment to sort of like appreciate someone who clearly has embraced their time and, or at least has been given the affectation of someone who has accepted their time. And I just sort of ruminate on that before
And the only
looking around.
figure without a head is the one he's been observing?
Yeah.
Okay. As he's observing, Lorenzo carefully picks up their head
Do it.
on the lectern. And like, there's something in him that feels like he's got like a...
Make a wisdom resistance roll.
Don't touch that.
Uh-oh.
He wasn't going to do it, Lorraine. He was going to do it, so.
Oh,
5.
nice.
Or 4.
4 successes. Okay. You pick up the skull.
Yeah. I'm like, it just sort of, to Lorenzo, feels like I got this piece of clay and that is sculpted this way, and there is a sculpture like this, and they're meant to, surely they go together, right? Like,
And as you turn it and look
I
at
want
it,
to see what the piece looks like complete.
and you confront the face of this, you see that there are carvings in the bone itself, like runic carvings running along the brow lines and around the eye sockets, and it's very innately, like intricately and carefully done.
This is incredible. Before I take it over, I quickly pull out my sketchbook, and just make a note of like the structure and the carvings, and like thinking I'll do a detailed, more contrast.
What quill do you
illustration
use?
later. Just my normal one.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
You said there was other stuff on the table with the book.
Trinkets or something?
Despite you passing your check, so nothing negative is happening to you, you begin to feel unsettled, uneasy, uncomfortable. Sorry, you were saying, Jen?
There's other stuff with the book.
There was some weird implements you don't really understand. I mean, you could just take them if you want, but they're just some items. Yeah.
Like a little wooden
Like
duck.
small metal tools and small implements that are unfamiliar to you.
Do they look like they'd be used for carving, or is it?
No, they look like they'd be
okay.
used for something.
Yeah, all right.
They're literally unfamiliar.
I'm
Do
not gonna.
I feel uncomfortable with the thought of putting the head where?
No,
I was
you
going
just
to?
feel uncomfortable. You feel a bit unsettled, uneasy. Just in general, like maybe
Like
the
his
vibes
hair
of the room are
prickles
getting
up.
to you.
Oh gosh, Lorenzo, you look sick.
No, it's just. I mean, there's much to admire here, but also much we don't know, and
And Leone sees this intricately
so
carved
many
skull.
stories not told.
They make an acuity check.
Okay.
As Lorenzo's like holding the skull and turning it around.
Lots of suspicious rolling.
Oh,
2 successes. Very quietly, without anyone else seemingly noticing, and Lorenzo's holding the skull reverently and turns to you as you speak to him. A glint of torchlight sparkles off what looks like 2 immaculately carved gems, like deeply recessed into the skull behind the eyes.
Of what?
Oh,
Gemstones.
Where?
in the skull you're holding.
but
That
you
I'm-
don't know that you don't know they're there. Leone
don't
sees
notice
it.
them.
You're holding the skull.
And I'm drawing.
And
it.
you're sort of looking at it and you turn around. But when it turns, this light catches and Leone just sees this glint of 2 like gemstones in the eye.
Huh. Do you know there's something in that? Can you see that?
What? And I turn to look. I see them.
It's just a skull.
I don't see anything. What do you? And I hold
Get a
it,
closer
turn it to
look.
her again.
Yeah. Are they still there?
Mhm.
You-
Interesting.
What is?
Mm, I can see something that you cannot see potentially.
Really? And I'm like looking carefully in the eyes, like, what do you see? Describe it. And as you, like, I'm like, no, describe it to me. And I take my drawing, and
You're going to put the skull down to do that?
I hand it to
Okay.
Like I put it on the table facing
Okay.
it towards Leonie.
Didn't you want to take the skull?
No, I'm not messing with any of this.
Okay.
This is
And I think maybe because of the back of my head, just did you say gemstone?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
I just said there's something I said, yeah.
Yeah, Leonie
Alright.
pins people to the tree 200 feet away. She doesn't touch skulls.
Is Bianca just flicking through this book?
I'm like describe it to me, and I
Sure,
take my
I'll describe it to
and
you.
I'll like try and render what she's describing, and I ask for details and sort of show her.
It's like 2 rubies inside the eye sockets, basically.
what color?
Well, the ruby.
Bianca,
red,
you turning pages, you get to a page of an illustration. It's just like bodies in a hole on the page. Like keep going.
Cool.
A town. There's like an illustration of a town, and there's just like these just big old trees, and there's just people hanging from them. Like every branch has like multiple bodies hanging from these trees. Only Bianca is seeing this because you're busy doing your stuff.
After it's been a little while, if they're still holding the skull, I'll still be reading the book, but I'll
Currently,
say,
no one's holding the skull. It's on the table.
Oh, okay.
It also hasn't been put back on the body either.
Right, so I finished rendering them things,
Yeah, looks about right. Yeah,
and you see it. I cannot see it.
I guess.
Ooh, can you touch it?
No. No, I ain't messing with that.
Look, she's after 40-year-old woman's bloomers, not skulls.
Can I ask, in Cadet, do we follow sort of like Egyptian sort of like mum?
No.
Right? That doesn't. Okay, cool. Cool. I just wanted to double check.
I'm just like, I like.
You
take
don't have particular reverence from the dead for the dead any more than a normal society. So like ancient Egypt was like highly reverent of the dead. You would say regularly reverent. Like
But
digging
this-
up a body is probably not a
Yeah,
polite
cool.
thing to do.
But this place seems very reverent of the
This
dead.
place seems obsessive.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm sort of just looking around the rest of the room. Is there anything else, or is it basically just the alcoves with the skeletons and then this
In this
middle
room.
scene?
Yeah, that's basically it. It seems to be I guess, lecture hall. I mean, you vaguely know of religion, but organized religion has been destroyed long before you were alive, and it's been erased from history. So it looks to you like a weird lecture theater where
right.
this guy would have been given a lecture to a bunch of students.
All right. I look like considering going back out to look at the green flame again, and then I just sort of walk over and just sort of look at the book next to Bianca.
It's not very happy.
Make a knowledge check
Okay.
with disadvantage, challenge level 3.
Do you think that the head probably belongs on the body?
I was wondering that. I'm curious to see if the bones align and it is the same person.
So disadvantage
so
1, so I
ornate, I don't see why
re-roll
it
1
wouldn't be.
success.
Full disadvantage is 2 successes, but you still got 3, so you pass.
Cool.
So,
Nice.
because you got 5 successes on the roll.
Yeah.
Arvin,
No extra.
as Bianca flicks through pages, none of you understand this language. But there are certain principles that transcend language. And as you turn past a page, your eyes bulge a little bit as you see alchemy. And you see an illustration of a body laying on the ground. And then this, like, something which you recognize to be like an alchemical symbol rising from the body. And then there's like formula and information on it. And it seems to be from your like you can't unpack it instantly because most of it's all written in another language, but the parts of alchemy you understand seems to be talking about removing some kind of essence from a person, which is like nonsense alchemy, but it's there.
Yeah, I sort of like
What is it?
put my hand over, like not to touch it, but just to like stay you from turning the page. So I go, huh?
You can read it?
Not read, but sort of interpret intent. They're taking something from the body after death. causing death, after death. I'm not sure.
Whatever.
You're
those
not.
people-
You're not wrong. This is quite morbid.
Yes, maybe it's good they're all long buried.
Maybe. It's fascinating. I wonder what it says.
You guys keep flicking through the book, I'm guessing.
I think so. Yeah.
You two? You doing anything with the skull?
Yeah. So, like, hoping, like, you know, at a point where I sort of think maybe people's attention aren't on me in particular, Lorenzo just can't help, like, just pure curiosity about what Leone was saying, and just something in his gut, sort of having recently experienced ethereal things, reaches for his feather. Does he sense anything as he sort of pulls out his other quill?
Discomfort. A rising discomfort. Like a shiver.
Do I sense anything as I bring it closer to the skull?
Like a shiver in your hand.
Like a tremor.
And a quiver in the quill. Like it's vibrating slightly.
I'm not sure. And I think Lorenzo can't help but feel like this is like his mother, like saying something to him, you know. And he puts it away and he turns to the others and like, I think we are meddling with things that ought not to be meddled with.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too.
I think.
Did you say there were gemstones in that skull?
And Diego pulls out a sack and opens the bag.
Wait, do you see any? And I turn it towards him.
No.
Wow.
Just put the head back on the body and let's get out of this room.
Okay.
Are you still going to flick through the whole book?
How quickly can we do it?
It's a big book.
Well, I'm not going to look at
We should
everything.
definitely
You're gonna take
take
it.
it
I think
with
I
us.
should take the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wrap it carefully.
Okay.
Here, I like
Yes,
to
I
hand
agree.
like a large like hand roll cloth thing.
Okay, cloth. Okay, I'll wrap it. And put it.
And I'll
Yeah.
pick up the skull and
Put it back on the body.
yeah.
It's not on. Okay.
what
You
being
put it
is
back
said
on the
to
body.
do. I
sort of look up at
not
that
on
and
the
go,
plinth.
We all
As
heard
so.
the cavalier.
Just like a movie. As this is happening, so Lorenzo listens that, like, Bianca's like, just put it back on the body. And she's
I
like
think
idly flicking through the last
Yeah.
pages, and Lorenzo's starting to raise this skull and place it over the body. The page flicks over again, and Arvin does that, holds his hand out again to be like, whoa, hold up here. And Arvin, you see a symbol that is often desired, but scarcely in alchemical formula, because you recognize a symbol that transcends time. It is the alchemical symbol for the philosopher's stone, the symbol of eternal life. And you see from this stone directional energy, and you see a dead body on the ground, and on the next panel they are rising. And as you kind of like comprehend that, and you see like there's like green ink in some flame in the background, Lorenzo places this skull on the top of a limp corpse.
I watch him do it as well. just FYI.
And Leone, there is a trembling and a rumbling that you hear all around you. The floor, the ground. Rising bass tones building up all around.
I'm the sound effects guy.
You have an affinity with me.
Who, me?
Do we all hear that?
Are you,
No.
Oh my god.
Only Leone.
we hear her say who me.
Yeah, you hear her respond.
You can't.
Girl, take me from this fool's hands.
The dead man is speaking to me.
What?
Uh-huh.
I pulled the head away. As if I pulled
Yeah,
the
you
skull
can.
away.
It doesn't. Yeah.
And it is it talking still?
Are you was saying something about rubies that no one else can
I can answer the questions of the universe.
Let's trust Leone alone with this.
What was in the woman's chest?
What are you rolling? Can we? Oh dear.
A random d20.
Yeah.
Random
okay.
d20 with 3.
So the lowest score was she ain't. No.
I like that you say
High
that
score.
after rolling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the voice in my head, I guess, or the thing, it tells me that it can tell me everything of the universe, and I don't like that.
Did you eat today?
The power to reverse death itself.
Are you okay,
We need to go.
Leone?
We need to go. And
Okay.
don't put that back on the body.
Oh, yes. And I put it back on the table and signal to Bianca, like, let's take the book.
Okay. I'll wrap up the book.
As we're leaving, I assume you guys are
Yeah, we're-
leaving. I tug on Arvin and I say, it tells me what I just said. I just can't remember.
And it can unravel
right.
the
Yeah,
like
dead.
bring
Reverse
dead back,
death.
reverse death.
That.
The dead person told you it can reverse death.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
I
know
mean-
why.
logically, wouldn't that mean that I suppose if he's talking to you, he reversed death, but it seems like a silly place for him to remain in.
But why is he talking to me?
We can't hear them.
I do not
She's just
know.
talking to him.
Oh, okay.
What should we do?
I would advocate for leaving it here sealed away.
Okay.
Arvin, make a wisdom resistance check.
Right roll. Wisdom.
Spread the spooky.
Resistance. 2.
2 successes. You feel a tugging at your mind. Sort of your ears start to ring, and you lose hearing in one of your ears. And it starts to, both of them start to ring slightly, and then faintly in the back of your mind you hear
That's good.
Sort of like do the sort of like weird shiver and just.
Are you okay?
Yes. Sorry. You say something?
So I just picture Evan Baxter like.
Are you two coming?
What should we do? What should we do?
I'd say either
Effervescence.
the
What's going
it's
on
like
with you two?
in your head it feels like something is grasping with language and struggling to communicate in a way that Leone didn't experience.
I'm just going to turn to Diego. Out of curiosity, what would happen to this place now that we've found it, we've discovered it? Are you going to report it, and this will become a site of excavation and discovery?
I don't really. I will record the history, yes.
I would not encourage people to come down here.
This is a finding that has been hidden from the people.
You want to show it to them?
A cultural history
All
of
these
people.
dead
An
bodies.
entire society that built the foundations of what we have become, of course. Why would we not? Why would we burn and forget our history?
In case it's dangerous.
And what if it holds the secrets to saving us from the next time Seldaris invades?
Why do you ask, Arvin?
I'm just going to move slightly close to Leona and say, you say this thing talk to you after you put the head back on it. Well, then it stands to reason that we should not leave it anywhere near the body and where people are going to find it again.
Do we ever hear this? Or
Yeah,
is
you can
a
hear this
private?
conversation.
I agree.
So take the head?
We
Wait,
separate
it's talking
this.
to you both.
There is
No?
no. I have not. I have not heard anything, but I can say with an assurity that I have sensed a burgeoning tremor of power.
I don't like this at all.
In Leone's head, Leone, you hear,
No, do not take me from this place.
Arvin, you hear,
Yes, I I have answers. Take me. I will unravel the secrets of alchemy.
So like, blink a little bit. And say, it promised you things, huh?
Yeah.
Are you hearing something too?
He said
I-
no.
I think I am. There's something.
Are we hearing rumbling? Or
But
was that just
that was just
the
in
only
there.
thing?
But I,
Sensations.
I still feel that we shouldn't leave it here.
Leone runs.
I fear for
bury
who
it?
else might find this thing that promises life in everything. That's
You.
false.
Carry a soul on
Sort of
your
like, touch.
waist.
And you remember the vial.
Weird.
Vial.
Oh.
I don't like this.
I didn't see this, so.
Yeah, you didn't hear or see that, but
No.
Arvin, you remember the vial.
What vial?
The vial from episode 4 or so.
But the vial from where?
The vial taken from a strange alchemist's house who
All the
was
way back in
who was
friggin-
dealing with weird zombie-esque people
The
and
surgeon guy.
had a strange vial of like clear gaseous.
Did you take a vial?
Maybe.
Thief?
You don't know.
No.
Yeah, none of you know anything.
Leone runs back, grabs the skull, but doesn't put it on the body and brings it back.
You're bringing it
group.
with us.
I think we should take it away.
I do.
We don't need to take it on our
Leave
journey.
it buried
but
down here, surely.
No,
Perhaps
that's
we-
the point. If anyone is going to come here, like the public,
I don't understand what you're talking about, a skull.
Does it start like screaming at me because I've now picked it up?
I'm mad at you. It's like,
I'll be quiet. You'll put me back.
I swear.
Fucking with me.
Leave me in my peace.
I'll be a good boy.
You're supposed to be dead. Why are you talking
Pinky
to me?
swear.
Because I have transcended death.
No, you don't speak. You're just a skeleton. You're just a
Okay,
head.
okay, you're
you-
freaking me
You
out.
guys are behaving
Hand it
very
here.
strangely.
They're not
Have they got
normally
food
this
poisoning?
weird. Maybe.
I'm just gonna like wrap it up and tuck it in my bag.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So
Do we
do we?
throw it down the stairs?
Well, no, because there might be another body that goes on.
I
I don't
vote
know.
that we
Let's
smash it.
Yeah, I think we just take it from this place. I don't want to leave it here for literally anyone to. It is talking to me. It's promising me things. I don't think we should leave it here for anyone.
I think
You say
Leone
so.
is right.
Oh no. It's beginning.
Pardon?
One time I was part of this thing. Later on, everyone in the village started to have the same sort of talking about crazy stuff, and then they all went off and took all their clothes off and started dancing. For 3-4 nights, they went into the wilderness and danced. Many dropped dead and died. I went and catalogued it, but they called it mass hysteria.
See, that's why I don't party too late.
I agree with Leone. I think we should smash it.
We can deal with this later. We don't have to do this right now. We should leave.
Yeah. Also, there's more place to explore.
Yeah,
There
that's
is the
what I meant.
stairs.
yeah. There is, but it's like, oh, that was nice. Evil altar.
I
I still don't like that we're carrying it with us, but all right.
don't like that it talks to me, but we got our own problems to deal with. I
Look,
guess.
I think the tree was weirder, to be honest.
We're never coming down here again. So far, we've only gotten creepy vibes and heard voices, but
Well, I got a cool book.
we are all okay.
Oh, you took the book too?
Yeah.
yeah.
That is incredibly valuable.
I say cool, but it's full of
A relic.
skeletons.
Arvin hears it. Arvin hears it in his head. He's like,
Good, that will be useful.
So I think I'm more creeped out by the book than the skull.
the psychic talking skull.
Does it?
Yes, then the
say-
book that has piles of bodies.
Also,
in a
you
hole.
now see rubies in its eyes when you look at it.
Oh.
Does it say the same thing to both of us?
No, it's talking. It's not
It's
even
all-
talking to you. It's like, it's sort of like, oh, be quiet. Leave me. To Leone.
Okay, but it says something different to
Yeah, it
us.
did.
Arvin is saying, like,
Yeah.
take me.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check it's saying different things
Yeah,
to
it is saying different things
okay.
to different people.
Okay.
Should we go down the stairs?
It would be way more. It would be a much less entertaining live cast role play were I to privately
Whispering.
message you all of what it was saying.
Yeah.
It would be more effective role play because it's very hard for you guys to role play without being while being impartial.
Metagaming
But
and whatever.
yeah.
I still think we should go down the stairs, but we just be careful.
Maybe
and
it'll give us more of a clue as to what was happening here.
there are
Actually,
certainly things to understand.
No more putting skulls back on decapitated bodies.
I thought
think
it was
you're
there
right.
in the first place. Sorry.
and pull that door shut.
You pull the door shut.
The one to the.
Yeah. And it seals and the green flame goes out. And the little seal pops out of the door.
Do we want to take the seal?
Or,
It would
or-
stop
Pops
people
out the
getting.
door.
Yes.
It would stop people
I think
going
we.
in.
I think we do.
Okay. I'll take it
And
back.
the voices fall silent.
Oh.
Cool.
And that is the end of the episode.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Weird things.
We're having a great time in the Chamber of Secrets.
I like that there's just a school on top of that.
creepy.
Yeah, I know. Children playing around. La, la, la. I'm hearing voices.
Maybe I'll understand this, like,
at arithmetic.
Time to burn
the
things.
skeleton marionette show downstairs.
Promising me life forever.
Oh, eternal
Life
nightmares.
eternal.
All I need to do is drink blood.
Sacrifice
Thank you
mommy.
for
Thanks,
watching.
patrons as
and
well.
thank
Look at them.
All of them.
They're
Right
already
there.
here. They actually came early.
Okay, Dave.
What?
My rank is
They
not
were
on this
very
up, but you can't
tidy.
tell.
On
They just
time.
was straight away as soon as we started. The patrons first started. Yeah.
Already.
Very prompt.
So good.
Enjoy, Vaughn.
Thanks for watching,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
See
Bye.
you next week.
See you next
Bye,
week.
everybody.